Greetings all you maniacs, minds, and crimes, and welcome back to another Warframe video. It's been a very long time since I've done anything on Warframe, but to be fair, there was nothing going on in Warframe. So, Volt has gotten a few tweaks. Now, the one tweak that I feel like outshadows every single other tweak is to his electric shield. So, effectively what they did is it used to be when you put it down and pick it up, you couldn't have a secondary. You could only have a secondary with it. But now, you can have it with your primary, and your movement is no longer restricted, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, you can, add damage to it, and shooting through it will add electricity damage on top of whatever you have on the weapon. So the Trumna has heat, but there's not going to be any radiation procs, because that's how it works. So, that's absolutely awesome. And it still does the extra critical damage and all of that. His one does the exact same thing, where it stuns enemies. His 2 increases movement speed, reload speed, and melee speed. And his 4 now immediately does damage. So, the damage really isn't that great. It's mostly just there to stun enemies, and stun enemies it does. Look how long on this build it leaves enemies useless. That's pretty good crowd control, and at lower levels it will absolutely thunderclap everything. Especially Corpus, because they do not like getting hit with electricity. So with all this, I am going to go ahead and jump into a Steel Path mission, even though I don't really like Volt for Steel Path. He's just not my favorite for Steel Path. I usually prefer Oberon or Mag or someone like that. And we'll see. You'll see the changes in action. So Volt is a lot more survivable now because he can carry his shield around at full speed and use his primaries. But the issue is, I really wish he had more survivability. Now, with capacitance, you do with the shield gating, but still, he's not Garuda. Garuda can take several hits from the back, and be fine. So let's just go ahead and get this started. Put on my shield, zap it. I probably should have waited because it takes like 3 eons to open that up. Immediately open up with that, and let's start stacking the Trumna's damage. So as you see, the damage with his 4 isn't great, but his 4 really isn't meant to do damage at high levels. What it's meant to do is crowd control, and it does that very, very well, as you see, because it goes through walls, and it stuns enemies for extended periods of time. And remember, I do not have a lot of duration on Volt. If you have a Volt with a lot more duration than me, then your crowd control is going to be even better. And the Trumna is still overpowered. So, well, I shouldn't say overpowered. The alt fire still does a lot of damage, even with the AoE nerfs. Do I care about the AoE nerfs? Nah. Do some people care about the AoE nerfs? Oh my god, yes. And I'm not even going to say anything about it, other than it's kind of funny. So, Volt now is a lot more safe to play and a lot more fun. Everything in his kit just melds together better. There are some things that they could tweak. I wish the shield was bigger. I wish that I wish I even think melee gets electric damage. I don't know. I just wish he had more survivability. No, it doesn't get electric damage. I thought it did. Stop. And his 1 is easy, cheap crowd control, and it can do okay damage. I mean, it's something to write home about. What really saves Volt in high levels like this is his crowd control and his movement speed. Because he's pretty fast. So, do a little bit of that. Ow. I probably should have Prime Sure-Footed on him, but eh. Also, am I worried about the Acolyte? A little bit, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Get out of my way. I need to activate this. Oh, there's a problem with his shield. When you press X, he'll drop the shield. So that's a little annoying. I really wish that didn't happen. Stop that.
Additional life support has arrived.
And also my frames are dying a bit. Oh my lord, my frame rate. And if you zap the ground, it will arc to nearby opponents. I don't know if it did that before the buffs, but it does now. I need to find an area where I can kind of camp. That's just the nature of frames like Volt. Not so much Garuda, because she can actually take a hit and be okay. Or, you know, I should just keep moving around. Okay, now I gotta get my nuke ready. Zap. Zap. Hey, I'm over here. Ah, oh god, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm fucked. Get away from me. Oh, that was close. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Volt for Steel Path because, yeah, he gets knocked down. It could be very bad. Trumna's still good fun, though. I was actually kind of expecting the Trumna's AoE to be nerfed, but I don't think it has been. Or if it has been, I don't really notice because the AoE nerf was significant, but it's not like, you know, the end of the world. And really, I didn't like AoE weapons. I don't really like AoE weapons too much. They feel very brain dead and already a pretty brain dead game. But yeah, Volt now is pretty goddamn awesome. I do wish that he had a rework. A full-blown rework, new abilities and everything, but I don't think he needs it anymore, to be honest. Although electricity could do more damage. I really wish it did. I really should have brought my Katana Yamato so I could make motivated jokes. I hope some people out there get that. Yeah, Volt now is honestly a lot of fun. He's especially fun in missions that aren't Steel Path. So, this is how I have him set up. This is Zero Forma. Will I put Forma into him? Maybe, maybe not. And I know I'm using Arcane Guardian on him. I don't have any other Arcanes I would put there. I don't have any of the Shield Arcanes. But if you do, then that's going to give him another layer of survivability. As for what ability that more than likely I could see someone taking off, probably Shock. Just because I don't know if you would get rid of his speed. I guess some people might not like it. I'm not the biggest fan of it because I feel like it's kind of a wasted ability. You definitely don't want to get rid of his electric shield because without this he can't survive. And they're showing the old footage here of how it worked, and god dang it, just change that. And his 4 is really here for crowd control. So, I mean, yeah, I only have 145% duration, and the crowd control lasts like 7 seconds. That's handy. And it's a big AoE. I mean, I have 190% range. The radius on this is 38 meters to hit something, and then it's 15 meters for the effect. And again, his 4 isn't really there to do damage. It can. It absolutely can on lower levels. But in Steel Path, it's mostly just going to stun enemies and it might knock shields out. But other than that, I mean, it probably wouldn't even knock shields out. But that's not the point of his 4. His 4 isn't meant to do damage, at least to me. It's meant as a wide reaching crowd control. Uh, anyway, Volt now is a lot more fun to play. In the past, he was weird, especially before shield gating. Oh my god, he was so fragile and just not fun to play. You can still do the whole, shield around a defense target trick. You can do that. All the other tricks you could do with Volt before, you could do now. I don't know of many because I'm not a Volt player. But with all that being said, Volt's awesome now. And that's great. I'm so glad that he's so much better than he used to be. He's a lot more fun. His kit flows better. There are a few things that still irk me about him. The fact that when you interact with something with X, he'll drop the shield. I don't know if I can fix that. That's a little annoying. I kind of wish his shield enveloped his entire body. Maybe that'll be an augment sometime. Maybe, maybe not, because that sounds kind of ridiculous, right? Give a frame with this amount of crowd control and invincibility. Oh, wait. That's called Nezha. Anyway, with all that being said, Volt's great now. Thank you, DE, for finally tweaking him. All they really only did one thing, and that was change his shield, and now he's more fun to play. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.